Very good morning to you. I mean, I saw it for myself yesterday. I was quite shocked at the lack of infrastructure. Tell us what you are seeing there.
Hi, thank you for having me. Well, just to put it in full view, the Eastern Cape is one province that has the biggest backlog when it comes to issues of poor infrastructure in our schools, out of all the provinces in South Africa. And you have upwards of about 2,000 schools that don't have proper sanitation. And it's concerning because if you look at what the law says and how far the government should have gone in terms of eradicating things like pit latrines, you tend to see a picture where there's less of a push, or there's less of an urgency with which this matter is being treated.
Well, I mean, there's no urgency at all. I mean, we spoke to several people yesterday who, quite frankly, couldn't give me a straight answer as to what the problem was. They didn't even know what the problem was when I was talking about water. And it didn't matter how high up the chain of command we went, people were just saying, oh, just remind us, what schools are we talking about? They don't even know where the problems are.
I think also the issue starts with a fundamental problem with the data that the department also has. So you'd have multiple sources reporting different numbers, right? So you had the Eastern Cape Progress Report, which cited 1,598 pit latrines, for example, where then you had the SAFE report that had a number of 2,598 pit latrines. So now you have, if you can't get a clear picture of what the problem is, then you can't really find solutions to actually fix it. Because on the one end, you have the department saying there's a need, about 70 billion that they need in order to eradicate the infrastructure problem in the Eastern Cape. But at the same time, they can't even give us a picture of where this money would actually go and how it would be used. And then you find the same department being surprised that there's certain schools that have one toilet for 200 teachers, for 200 learners and 10 teachers. And so for me, it's like this constant thing of having to be caught out, and then now they quickly respond.
I was, sorry, excuse me, jumping in here. I was promised yesterday that that roof you're looking at, which blew off in December 2018, that it was being sorted, you know, material was on its way to fix it, and that schools have been given hundreds of thousands of rands, when in actual fact they haven't. So we can't even get a straight answer from people who should be telling us the truth. And you really get the sense there that they don't care. I mean, why not have that data at their fingertips? This is a radical problem.
It is. And I think for me, to bring it home, it's an issue of life and death, to be honest, because you've had learners who've gone into pit latrines and lost their lives. And it's something that is threatening many lives of innocent children. And so for us to not have clear answers and a bit more decisive action from the department is very disappointing. And to refer back to the law of norms and standards, by 2016, we should have eradicated all pit latrines. And now we're in 2020 and we're approaching the second deadline of norms and standards. And we're seeing that we are nowhere near eradicating even mud structures, let alone the sanitation problem. And so there's issues around, yes, there's issues of funding, but also there's issues of poor oversight from the department, where, for example, you'd find within some of the schools they'd say that they're going to start construction, for example, and then you have a contractor going there and then laying the foundation, and then the community doesn't see them for another 2 months.
I mean, one of the community leaders was telling us that the only time they get water, I mean, there's not even water, there's not even a tap. The only time they get water is 2 days before the elections and 2 days after the elections. We were also told that one school, firstly there was a school that didn't even have toilets at all. Another school, there was a 99% failure rate. What sort of impact is this having on the children? I mean, clearly their lives are in danger, but it keeps them impoverished as well.
It grossly affects educational outcomes. And I think the department always says, you quote the MEC saying that their priority is teaching and learning. But teaching and learning can't happen when teachers have to duck and dive the rain, hailstorms, in order to be able to teach. And what you find in most rural areas, for example, where if the weather is so bad, then they have to send children away. And that affects how they're able to learn and engage. And we haven't even started talking about then the availability of teachers, which is also another issue that the department needs to address. But now if you're looking at the actual infrastructure where learners have to go into, it affects how they're able to concentrate. I mean, if you're studying in a zinc structure and it gets really hot when in the Eastern Cape you get upwards of 36 degrees, for example, and then you expect a learner and a teacher to function in that setting, and it's deeply problematic.
I mean, Satu was telling me that they really struggle to get teachers into schools like that, and you can't blame him. I mean, why would you want to teach in a school like that where you probably get a 100% failure rate and the children and you suffer? I promise you, we are going to keep our attention on this. It's angered us beyond. We're going to hold people accountable. Athenkosi Sopitshi, thank you for talking to us.
Thank you very much for having me.